the reporting section. Of everything in our software, I would have to say that our reporting section is the weakest part of our offering. However, that being said, we don't actually have a lot of complaints from clients on it, because what you really, really need is there. It may not be as flashy and graphical as some other products you might look at on the market, but it's very, very functional. So I won't get into a ton of explanation here. I mean, suffice to say that it's a bunch of reports. You can go look at a list of every report, every invoice that's ever been done in the system. Most of them are selectable by date range, so you can pull whatever piece of the data out of the system that you want to look at. The sales report purpose is to grab your information on sales for the month to dump out to your accounting software. So all it shows is net sales, CV, tax 1, tax 2, and gross sales. So its really purpose is to just get you the information you need to put into your accounting software. Invoices, sign-ups, if you have COD, product order list. Probably the most important one you'll end up using is the COM period support. The COM period summary report, that's just a report of every single person and how much they earned in each commission period, broken down by each commission type in an exportable CSV that you'll usually use for making sure the comms are correct before you go ahead and publish them to the Members Lounge. So we won't spend a lot of time on reports. Let's click on the admin link again. Translate. Let's click on the translate button just for the heck of it, and I'll just give you a quick overview of how the whole system works. Our system is actually one of the only ones on the market that we know of that is truly, truly multilingual. Okay, like it's multilingual right down to where you can have the whole admin section translated to a different language and operate in an entirely different language. Like this system operates in Japanese, 100%. Okay, and we have Japanese clients. So we've had to go way beyond what a lot of the other software products out there will say they're multilingual, but they're only multilingual on the surface. We're multilingual right down to where when you're done translating everything, you don't see a single word of English anywhere. Like Japan's a prime example. As soon as there's one English word, they all panic. No, they panic, well, I don't understand because it's an English word. It's like, wait a second, there's one English word on the entire page, and that's enough reason for them to panic and get all concerned. So the system goes right down to every drop down, every note, everything, every error message, every single thing in the system can be translated. Now, you don't buy my software with 100 languages in it. You get this translate engine. This translate engine allows you to assign a translator password to somebody, and they can start translating the site. What you will find is to go in and try to hire a translation company to do the translation for you. Translation companies are very good at doing raw translation, but they're not going to make it sell. And in the multi-level marketing world, you really have to be careful that the person translating it understands the industry to make sure they're translating in a way that will still make people excited in that language. So we've had a lot of experience with people trying to translate by using companies and whatever, and it doesn't work. Usually it's better to get your translation done by free by your members. Because usually what happens is, someone will come to you and say, well, I think you should have your site in Spanish. Oh, great. Do you speak Spanish? Yes, I do. Well, fantastic. Then I'll tell you what. How about we get you to assemble a team of people to translate it, and we'll put your name on the website in the Translators Club. So everyone knows that it was your hard work that made the site available in Spanish. And what you'll find is they love it. So you end up getting your whole site put into whatever language you want for free by your members in the appropriate language that will sell in that language. The other thing you can do within the translation portion of the website is every word you see on this system in English, you can change the English. So let's say you don't want to use admin as a word. You want to use something else. Well, go change it. So nothing you see on the system cannot be changed by you. Okay? So it's a very, very changeable system. And again, this is a deluxe version of the system I'm showing you. So let's go back to admin. I won't get into how all the translation works. Just know that with our translation engine, you can change every word of the site into as many languages as you want, text string by text string. Let's go down to system. Now we're going to start getting into some of the muscle of the system. For example, charge invoice. Here's where we deal with money. And I have to say that our system deals with money exceptionally well. Let's click on the unpaid orders link. This goes right to the level of your general ledger. Okay, so this handles all of your sales side of things. So it'll even, all your invoices, you can get all that information out, but you still need your QuickBooks because this does not deal with anything as far as your business expenses and all that kind of stuff. This is only going to deal with your sales. There's an audit trail of everything to do with sales and everything to do with commission payments. But of course, it doesn't deal with money that you sent to your suppliers for products or your phone bills. It doesn't deal with any of that. So you still need accounting software, but you'll just do general ledger entries once a month to copy what was paid in commissions, what came in sales, how much is taxes. You'll just do 5 or 6 general ledger entries from this system to your accounting system every month, and you'll be good. So you don't need to track every individual transaction in your QuickBooks. You just track the totals for the month. So here we can see that there's one order in check, and I'm hoping this section has enough information to see. Let's click on the process link and see what happens. No, it doesn't. But that's okay. We can see in general what goes on here. You'll see that normally we would get a list of everyone who paid by check, and it would have their order number, their username, when they ordered, how much, the account name, if it's been paid, and a reference number. So you can actually then select who's paid. So if you have a list of 20 orders and only 3 of them actually got their checks in, then you'd set those 3 to paid, hit update, and now immediately after going to the status of paid, those orders would end up in the place to be printed. Okay, with our system, nothing is going to get out your door until you say it's paid for. The only way you can get an order out your door before it's paid for is if you decide to ship things COD. Okay? Now, no points will flow up your commission plan either until an order is paid for. So you're never going to lose out on points. You're never going to lose out on product because everything is trapped in the system until money comes in. So it keeps things nice and safe. So you can actually, if you want to use a check payment type, you can. You want to use PayPal, StormPay, any of that kind of stuff, you can, because it's just going to go into a holding cell until you check your PayPal account to see that it was paid. Again, I don't recommend using PayPal because they hate MLM and they'll just take your money anyways. But any of the online things you can do without being integrated. You can do money order, bank draft, international money transfer, all this same method. Obviously, if you have a credit card gateway, that becomes real time. Okay, so let's click back one. Orders. Depending on what payment types you turn on, it'll all show up in the unpaid orders. So everyone, you see right now, you see check, 1 to process, and the process button. If you had credit cards that had been declined, because of course credit cards, we got 2 ways with credit cards. We can do online credit cards and offline credit cards. So if you have an online credit card gateway, we hook that up so it all happens in real time. But if they're declined, you still have to have a place to go and retry the transaction. So you'd still see credit card here, and that would be where you go to retry the transaction until it's successful, or delete it because you just give up on ever getting the money. We can also do an offline credit card. So say you don't have an online merchant account, but you have a merchant account. We can actually have all the orders come through. They get bumped out to a report here with the credit card number and expiry date and everything you need to process it, and then you just manually process it and say, yes, paid, yes, paid. So the system can handle pretty much everything to do with online or offline methods of operation.